Hello and welcome to this session. Understanding 3D and 2D shapes of 6th grade by Kemarago. Let's observe the objects given in the picture. You can see the trunk box and oil tin, ice cream cone and the ice cream box, wooden log and also biscuit packet and a bowl, candle, birthday party cap and a dice and a matchbox. All these objects have some specific geometrical shapes over the surface. Let us identify these objects by distinguishing them. Like a matchbox, there is a trunk box, twin box, ice cream box. Like a ball, there is a cricket ball, football, wooden log. Like a wooden log, you can find biscuit packet, candle. Like a dice, there is a cube, ice cube, or Rubik's cube. Like a cone, there is an ice cream cone and a cap. All these are the objects which we can define geometrically. Each of them have specific names. If you notice, like a matchbox, we call them as cuboid. Like a ball, we call it a sphere. Like a wooden log, cylinder. Dice, cube, and a cone, obviously, as a cone. Now let's distinguish these based on shapes. You can see here a line which spreads only lengthwise, whereas a square, triangle, a rectangle or a circle, all these spread over a plane which spreads lengthwise as well as breadthwise over the two dimensions, length and breadth. Hence, these are two-dimensional objects. Circular region, rectangular region, or a square region. Now let us observe the football or baseball or a hat. These require certain space which spread lengthwise, breadthwise and heightwise. Those they spread in 3 dimensions. So distinguishing based on the shapes generally which are shown on the plane which spread lengthwise and breadthwise are called 2D shapes, like circle, rectangle, oval, square or hexagonal. Any geometrical shape spreads over a plane in 2 dimensions. Whereas The objects which occupy space, that is, they spread lengthwise, breadthwise, and heightwise in three dimensions. They are called as three-dimensional shapes. For example, gift box, football, and a birthday cap or a cap. As geometrically, the gift box is called cuboid, the ball sphere, and this one cap cone, whereas the hat is a combination of different 3D shapes. It may contain annulus, cylinder, hemisphere together. Now let us study about cuboid. Cuboid is a three-dimensional object which spreads lengthwise, breadthwise, and heightwise. As you can see here, and its face is a rectangular shape, which is a surface, and this surface we call it as a face. These flat faces forms a cuboid. There are 6 faces you can notice for a matchbox or a cuboid as shown in the figure. The flat surface on the left, right, and the bottom and other 3 sides, this will merge to form a sharp corner. These faces, where they form a sharp corners as shown in the brown line, are known as edges. These edges meet at one point. The 3 edges where they meet at one point is known as vertex. Hence, a cuboid has vertices, edges, and faces. As you can notice here, the vertices or the corners, point corners, or 8 corners, and you can notice the edges by the straight lines. You can notice there are 12 edges, top 4, bottom 4, and vertically 4, and there are flat surfaces which we call it as face. Flat faces are 6 faces, top 2 and bottom, whereas vertically there are 4 faces, similar to that of a classroom which has roof, floor and 4 walls together, which is generally a cuboid. A cuboid is a solid which has 6 rectangular faces at right angles to each other. You can notice a cuboid has 6 rectangular faces, edges 12, and the vertices are 8. Generally, the cuboid shape you can notice as boxes, cupboards, rooms, buildings, and containers. Now, if you notice here, this is an example for a cuboid where it is 6 faces which are rectangular in shape. You can notice this has a flat face, due to which it slides on the plane. Now you can see here a sharp straight line corner which we call is edge, and the flat face we call it as a surface, we call it as a face. And you can notice corners, point corners, which we call it as vertices. A cube is similar to that of a cuboid. All its faces are square shape. As you can notice in the figure, all the faces are square shapes. It has 6 faces which are at right angles to each other. A cube is a solid with 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 vertices. In our day-to-day life, we can see the dice, which is an example. Ice cube is another example. Common examples of cubes are ice cubes, sugar cubes, or Rubik's cube that you play. You can notice when you unbox a cube, you have 6 square faces. And also you can see the dots in black and orange color. There are 8 dots which are nothing but vertices, and the lines which are joining these dots, you can notice there are 12 straight lines over it. Hence, a cube is formed by 6 flat faces. Here you can see in a purple color, which is called a net, which is used to make a cube. Thus it has 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 vertices, which forms a cube. Let's try this. What is the shape of face of a cuboid? Yes, you are right, it's a rectangle. What is the shape of a face of a cube? Obviously, it's a square. Now let's see by an activity. Here you have different boxes. Let us identify them. Now you can see here a red color box, which is a cube since its face is square. And you can notice yellow color box, which is a cuboid because its face is square, and the pink is red. Cuboid, and the blue cube, and the orange is cuboid, and the purple one is cuboid, and the red one is a cube. Those 3 cubes and 4 cuboids. The basic difference between cube and cuboid is cube has all the 3 dimensions equal, length, breadth and height, whereas cuboid may have or they may be different. Now let's understand the dimensions. Here too, 1 centimeter cubes are placed side by side to form a cuboid. Its dimensions: length is 2 units, breadth is 1 unit and the height is also 1 unit. Hence, the three dimensions are 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter length, breadth, height respectively. Let's try another one. Here you can notice its length is 3 centimeters because it has 3 cubes, and breadth wise its dimension is 1 centimeter and height wise its dimension is 2 centimeters. This is a cuboid whose dimensions are 3 centimeters, 1 centimeters and 2 centimeters respectively, lengthwise, breadthwise and height-wise. Now let us observe here, other than cube and cuboid objects like a cell or a paper roll or a tin can or a band rolled. Now you can notice here, this is called as a cylinder. It's similar to like a drum used for the drilling, which has two identical circles which are parallel to each other and joined by curved surface. As you can notice here, a circle is formed by all the points which are equidistant from a fixed point. There are two identical circles and the distance between them is height, and the diameter is between the 2 points on a circle passing through the center. If you join two centers of these two circles, we get axis of a cylinder through which it rotates. Now you can notice the circular base is on a plane and the height spreads over. So thus it has a circular base and the height which is spreading over, which is a three-dimensional objects which spreads lengthwise, breadthwise and height-wise. A cylinder is a solid closed shape with two parallel bases, generally of circular in shape, connected by curved surface. As you can notice in a drum which is used for drill in your schools. Now, a cylinder when unrolled gives a flattened look of rectangle. Base and the sides together forms a cylinder. The line joining the two circular base centers is the axis of cylinder over which it rolls. Now let's look at its flat circular base over which it slides on the plane and it rolls due to its curved surface. It has two flat circular bases and one curved surface on which it rolls. On the flat circular surface, it slides. Now, if you observe a cylinder, the line perpendicular distance between the base is denoted as the height h of a cylinder and r is the radius of a cylinder, that is radius of a circular base. And you can see these objects like a funnel, cap or ice cream cone. These are the three-dimensional object which we call as cone. You can see a heap of a salt or a sand which spreads like this, forming a point to the circular base. Thus, it's a solid figure which starts from the circular base and meets at a point. If you join the center of a circle to the point, we call it as axis of cone. Thus, cone has a circular base and spreads to a point. This tip or topmost point is called vertex, which is also called as apex, and the slope or inclined surface has a height which is called as slant height. A solid object which is three-dimensional has a circular base joined to a point by a curved side. The point is called as a vertex or apex. As you notice, the cone light flash. Let's do an activity. Let's make a cone. Now cut a piece of paper into a circular shape. Now mark two radius as shown in the figure. Now cut along this radius, you will get a sector. Now paste the paper along these two radius to form a cone. It has a curved surface over which it rolls and a flat circular base over which it slides. In day-to-day life, you have example like traffic barrier, which is a cone shape, or a microphone, or you can look at a Christmas tree. It has only one vertex, which is called as apex, and a flat face, which is a circular base, and a curved surface, which is one, and a curved edge at the bottom. The circular base has radius r, and the height of a cone from apex to the center of a circle is the height, and it also has a inclined length which is known as a slant height, denoted by S or L. As you notice here, AO is the radius of a cone, and AC and BC are slant heights, and OC is the height of a cone, where the axis of cone. You can see a tennis ball, a lemon, or a globe, a cuboid, or football. All these have only one surface, which is curved one, which we call it as a sphere. Sphere is another three-dimensional object which has a curved surface. All the surface points are equidistant from a fixed point or a common point, which we call it as center of the sphere. Thus, all the points which are spreading over a space from a fixed point is a sphere. Sphere has no vertex or a flat face edge. It has only one curved surface. As you can notice here, all the points equidistant from the fixed point, which is the center of a sphere. Here, sphere spreads in three dimensions: lengthwise, breadthwise, and height wise. If you draw any line through the center of a sphere, it forms axis of sphere over which it rolls. Since it has only curved surface, it rolls over the plane. Sphere only rolls due to its curved surface. Hemisphere. If you cut a sphere into two equal halves, we will get a hemisphere. Hemisphere is a half sphere formed by a plane intersecting the center of a sphere. The cut line forming a hemisphere is a great circle. As you can notice for cutting a lemon, it has one curved surface and one flat surface. Over the curved surface it rolls, and on flat circular base it slides. Now let's identify the objects here. The cell, which is cylinder, since it has flat and curved base, it slides as well as rolls. A ball, which is spherical in shape. Oil can, which is a cuboid, has only flat faces. And a biscuit packet is a cylinder with a flat face as well as curved face. A coin has a curved face as well as flat faces. And a sphere has only curved face, so it only rolls, and cylinder slides and rolls, whereas a cuboid only slides because of its flat rectangular surface. Now look at this picture, which we call it as a prism, where two identical bases are joined by rectangular faces. Here we have a triangular base, so this base can be either triangle, square, rectangle or any other polygon, and other faces are parallelograms or rectangles. Here we have triangular base, so it is a triangular prism. Now look at this, it has a pentagonal base. This is a pentagonal prism, and this has a triangular base, which we call it as a triangular prism, and it has a square base, so it is a square prism. It has a rectangular base, rectangular prism called cuboid. Pyramid. As you can see, a pyramid has a base and its faces are triangles which meet at one point. A pyramid is a three-dimensional solid with a base and a point vertex. Other faces are triangular. All these triangular faces meet at a vertex, which we call it as apex, and here its base is square, so it is called as a square pyramid. A square pyramid has 5 faces, 4 triangular, 1 square, and it has 5 vertices and 8 edges, as you can notice clearly. A square pyramid has a square base and all its other faces are triangles. It has 5 faces, 5 vertices and edges is 8. Since the base has 4 sides, it has faces 5, that is 4 plus 1, and the vertices are 5, that is 4 sided triangles and 1 square base. Now you can look here. It's a pyramid with triangular base, and all its three faces are also triangles. So it is also called as a tetrahedron with four faces, triangles, and it has four vertices and six edges, which is also known as tetrahedron. Now cut a piece of paper into four triangles, join them to form a tetrahedron or triangular pyramid as shown in the picture. You can cut four triangles. It has four faces and four vertices and six edges. Now let us look at this one. It has a pentagonal base and all the triangles, 5 triangular faces. Overall it has 6 faces and 6 vertices and 10 edges. Now let us solve this by visualization. A cone has one curved surface, one flat surface, and it has one vertex, whereas the cylinder has 2 flat surfaces and one curved surface and no vertices. A sphere has only curved surface, no edge and vertices. Now you notice there is a triangular prism which has 2 triangular faces and 3 rectangular faces, and the edges are 9. You can count the straight lines and the number of vertices, that are the points. Corners are 6, as you can notice in the figure. You can make a triangular prism. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you find an interesting points. Thank you.